everyone, and welcome back again to my channel. My name is Gloria. If this is your very first time, I want to say welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the lessons that I've learned, at least 10 different lessons I've learned living in this country as an immigrant. So I'm going to start with the very first one, and I have my notes here like you can see so that I don't forget my point. Do not overwork. Let me tell you one thing about working here in Canada. You might be the very best worker, you might be the most hardworking person, intelligent person, but when you work too much, you don't have time for yourself. It's going to tell on you and you wouldn't like it. The truth of the matter is, if something happens to you today, the work will go on. If they want, they would, in fact, they will replace you in no less amount of time. So give yourself some break. Do not say you work, even if there's overtime, you work, because at the end of the day, you're going to be paying much more money to CRA, and CRA is the Canada Revenue Agency, which means that at the end of every year, in March or April of the following year, you are supposed to pay your taxes. So arrange your taxes and pay your taxes. If you're owing too much, you have to pay back. If there is a credit, they would issue you a credit. So you want to make sure that you're not overworking yourself, because when you do so, you'll be paying more money to the government, and you don't want that to happen. And so one of the reasons why what I've learned is not overworking, because I do see most Africans who come into Canada and they like to work. They believe that working gives them more money, not knowing that it has its own downsides. So that's one thing I learned. Let's go into the second one. The second one on my list is do not live above your means. I see many Africans, they come into Canada the very first time. The first thing they want to do is they want to buy a new car. Not just any car, the one that is latest. Why? Why do you want to do that? That's living above your means. Okay, what about people who are living in apartment buildings? And I mean apartment buildings where you have more than 10 people living in a building. You don't have money for a house yet, but you're buying the latest 2023 car or vehicle. Why? That is living above your means. Why don't you live within your means? Because you know you can afford to do so. But living above your means is going to put you into more heartache. It's just like you seeing somebody who has just bought the latest iPhone, and you tell yourself that you want to buy the latest iPhone. Meanwhile, there's nothing wrong with the phone that you're using. But you want to be like that other person. So instead of you to give yourself a break, maybe you're supposed to close by 5 o'clock, you now say you want to go and get a second job so that you can now work to get that money to buy that iPhone 15 because your friend has it. I mean, what are you doing to yourself? You know, you are living above your means. They say cut your coat according to your size. This time around, cut it according to your wallet, because your wallet is to tell you what you have. And if you are living above your wallet, that means there's something wrong. You have to tell yourself the truth. And this also goes for people who are also sending money back home. They don't have money to feed for themselves, but they're sending money back to their people in Africa. I mean, take care of yourself first. Even when you go into the airplane or you're traveling, the pilot or whatever, they'll tell you that if anything happens, put the thing on your nose first before helping another person. That is how it is. Help yourself first, because you matter first before another person. Let's go into the third reason. The third reason that I have on my list here is go to school when you can. I see people who message me on my TikTok or my Instagram, and the kind of things that they say, I keep on asking myself, it's not like I'm being proud here, but these people, they went to school or what? Because you're coming to a country where nobody is going to spoon feed you. Nobody is going to tell you this is how you do this is how you do. Nobody will. You have to know what you're doing. That is why you need to go to school when you're supposed to. If you know that English is not your first language, you're coming from a French country and you're coming to an English country like Canada. Canada is English and French, bilingual. But then you're coming to a place where people are speaking English. You need to enroll in a course or a program in a school where they teach English as a first language, ESL. There are many colleges in Canada here that offer such. So equip yourself, go to that school, learn the basic ways of speaking English and writing English and speaking, so that it can enable you to get a job, and it can enable you to communicate effectively with people, even your employers, people you move on with on a daily basis, and things like that. Some people just wait until they are 50 years old or 60 years old before they say they want to go to school. No, you have the opportunity in your 20s. Why don't you use that opportunity to go to school, acquire the education that you can acquire, and come back and be good with it and be okay with it? Not that you wait until maybe you are 50 years old or 45 years old and now you remember that, I want to go to school. It might be too late at that time. So use the opportunity you have to go to school while you can. And even as an international student here in Canada, it is important that you face your studies. Use that period to face your studies. When you finish your school, know that even the job that you are fighting for, you will still get it, because while there is hope, where there is life, there is hope. The next thing on my list is do everything at the right time. Anything you want to do, do it. Don't just procrastinate, because most of us are in the habit of procrastinating. Oh, this particular thing, I will do it later, or I'll do it next month. No, you don't have next month to wait for you. You do it now. Do it at the proper time. You want to apply for something, do it now. You want to travel to this place, arrange that thing now. Don't wait for the wrong time to do so many things. Procrastination is a thief of time. You know that. I know that. So why procrastinate things that you can do now? Why shelving things off for a later time? You might not have that opportunity for that later time. Why not do it now and forget about it? You know that you're done with it. That's why it says do everything at the right time. There's a time for everything. A time to play, a time to read, a time for leisure, a time for entertainment, a time to recreate. Do so many things you can do. Make sure you apportion different times. If you are the same kind of person like myself, I always write things down. On my diary, I'll write things down. I'll say, in today, this is what I'm going to do today, so I'll be able to achieve those things and not push them off to a future time when I know I might not even have that time for it. So now is the time for use that opportunity and use it wisely. The next thing I have on my list is set achievable goals. What are goals? What are goals? Goals are achievable, they are measurable, they are attainable, they are realistic, and they have a time frame. You cannot say you want to like, when we were young, those times when we were young, they will ask us, what do you want to be in the future? Some of us will say, I want to be a medical doctor, I want to be a pilot, I want to be an engineer. If you go and check those people today, I don't think they have been able to achieve that goal, because they did not do these things that I've talked about. They did not set a time frame for themselves. They did not measure it. They are not realistic about those goals, because some of us will go into school with the aim of being an engineer and will study something else only because it's cheaper for us. And maybe we come abroad, like many of us do. We come abroad. We have studied nursing or something in school, something in sciences. And we come to Canada and we now want to study accounting or want to... It is not realistic. It's not. So your goals cannot be attained because you have not been realistic about what you want to do. Be intentional about the things you want to do for yourself. Make that goal. Okay, it is my goal that in the next 2 years, I should have been able to be this thing. Or I should have been able to have completed this. I should have been able to have built a place for myself. Or I should have been able to buy a house for myself. If you don't plan, you fail to plan. If you fail to plan, if you don't plan, what am I saying? You will fail if you don't plan successfully. That's what it is. So if you're saying that you want to get a house or you want to buy a house and you don't plan for it before that month, you might not be able to, because it means that you have not saved enough money to be able to get yourself a house. So what are you doing to yourself? Make those goals achievable goals and realistic, and have a time set for it in order for you to achieve that particular goal that you have been aiming for. The next thing I have on my list is investing in your health. What do I mean by investing in your health? Health, they say, is what? Wealth. Your health, it tells everything about you. Without good health, you cannot work. And without work, you cannot get paid. And without getting paid, you cannot pay your bills. And this is a country, abroad is a country where everything is bills, bills, bills. You have to pay your bills. Nobody is going to pay your bills for you. So you have to invest in your health. If you're sick, please don't say that, it's just mere headache. It might not be mere headache. It might be something else that you need attention for. So go to the hospital when you are not feeling well and make sure that they check what the problem is. Do not say, my boss will not allow me. Leave your boss out of the equation. Let your boss be. I'm not saying here that you should not inform your boss that you're not feeling fine and you have to go and check yourself. No, I'm saying that make sure that it is paramount. Your health is paramount to you than any other person. Because if you break down, it is you that is breaking down. It's not the other person. It's not your manager. It's not your boss. It's not your colleague. It is you yourself that is breaking down. So not just your physical health, your mental health. Because many people go through things like depression and anxiety and things like that, and they don't care. This is a country where mental health is in first priority. It takes priority amongst everything. So invest in your health, invest time in your health, take time off to exercise, take time off to drink lots of water, and tell yourself that you are going to be doing these things intentionally because it is what will help you to stay healthy. Another thing I have on my list is never accept less for any job offer. So do you know that in Canada, and I don't know if this is attainable in other countries in the world, but you are able to say, this is how much I want you to pay me for. Let's say you go into an interview and the employer or the recruiter asks you, how much, this is how much we want to pay you. Do you know that you can negotiate the pay they're going to be given to you? Some people don't even know that. Yes, you can negotiate. You can tell them, oh no, this is not what I am. Because if you start to beat yourself low, if you start to rate yourself low, then you continue to be getting low. And it's not fair. You are somebody that needs to tell them that this is what I am capable of and this is the amount that you need to pay me for. I remember some time ago, a lady told me that this is how much she was paid for a job. And I was wondering, oh, wow. I wasn't even paid close to that amount and we're doing the same job. Although it is bad to tell somebody else in the same job as you are how much you're being paid. I don't know about your own company, but if where I was working before, it's not all healthy. Work-wise, it's not good to tell somebody this is how much, because you can create a problem for yourself and for the employer, because you could go back and say to the person that, oh, so you are paying this person higher than you're paying me. It's going to bring problems and you don't want that to happen. So please, when you are going into an interview, ensure that you know what your capabilities are, what you're good at, know your degrees, the amount of time you've gone to school for. Put that thing into play when you are trying to negotiate, and negotiate wisely. Don't just negotiate. They tell you that you're going to pay you 60,000 and you say, okay, you can pay me 60,000. No, you can tell them, oh no, I believe I'm worth 70,000 and I'm going to show you that I'm worth 70,000 by what you know. You understand me? Don't just say, okay, I'll go with that offer. Don't go with that offer. It might not be enough for you and your family. Another thing that I have in my list is friends are very necessary. It is necessary to have friends around you because friends are there to help you when you fall. They are there to offer you advice. They are there to tell you when you're doing something right and when you're doing something wrong. So have friends. It's good to have friends, but you have to be careful with the friends you make. Sometimes you make friends because you're lonely in the country, especially in Canada like this. Whether it's dull during the winter period, so you need somebody to talk to and confide in, because loneliness is real in this country. So you need somebody as a backup to be with. You also need friends when you need to move around, to just wind time when you go to work and come back on the weekends. You need somebody to just hang around with. You need a friend for that. So you always need friends at every given point in time, but be careful of the kind of friends you have. Some friends can put you into trouble, get you into trouble, while some friends are good for you. Be careful of the kind of friends you move around with in this country, because they can make or mar you. Sometimes friends can put you into big troubles that you don't want to. You have to be careful of who is in your circle. Those friends that you think that are not worth it, remove them from your list and move on to another person, because people should be within you, around you. You should build a community around yourself so that you're not a lone ranger. It is not good. It's not advisable. Mentally, physically, it is not good. So in every ramification, my advice for you is to have friends that would help you to navigate the country that you've just moved into and to do other things as well. The next thing I have on my list is minimize gossip. It's very easy to start gossiping about somebody or things that are not relevant. In this country, I've seen people that have gossiped and have put themselves into big trouble. In my country, in Africa, I've seen people who have gossiped about people and they've gotten into big mess only because they were gossiping. I mean, gossip can land you into... The tongue is very, very, very loud. Sometimes we say things we don't mean, and sometimes we say things that we mean and can put us into grave danger. So we want to be careful about gossiping. Why gossiping about something that you're not even sure of? Does it concern you? Does it make you better person? Does it add money to your bank account? If it doesn't, then why gossip about somebody else? Why don't you go talk to the person about the thing that you're thinking about the person instead of gossiping about the person? So my own antidote is stay clear of gossiping so that you don't get yourself into any mess. The last thing that I have on my list, this one I really struggle to think about these points, but family might not always be there for you when you need them. Yes, I know why I'm saying this, because think about it. There are times when you need certain things, or you're going through some certain things. There are some things that you can't tell family members, and there are some things that you need from family members that they cannot offer you at that particular point in time. So you depend so much on family, they can mess you up. That's the word. They can mess you up when you don't even think that it will happen. It would happen because it has happened in the past and it's not new to anybody. There are times when I've seen people who, as they told me that they are not in close contact with their family members. Like I know one lady was telling me that she and her mother are not close. She doesn't talk to her mother. And I wonder that, why is that so? Because if you hear their stories, you yourself will say, okay, now I understand why you're not close to your family members. Sometimes they might not want to help you when you need them to. And, you can depend all you want on them, but there are some families that are not just worth it. Even though I'm not here saying that families, you should remove them from your list of people that you need to reach out to. No, I'm not saying that here. What I'm saying is that they might not always be there when you need them for certain things. So do not depend solely on your family members, on your loved ones. Even husband and wife might not even have that dependency that, oh, I'll depend on my husband, he's going to give me money. What happens when he doesn't give you the money? What happens? What happens when you call your parents and they tell you that there is no money as an international student? What are you going to do? Are you not going to fend for yourself? You always have to have a plan B. Forget family, move on with your life. Don't depend 100% on them, because you can never expect that 100% in return. I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to let you know the things that I've learned living here in Canada. You might have some things that you've learned from living in this country. I want to hear from you. Why don't you leave me a comment in the comment section and tell me about the things you have learned in this country, whether good or bad. We want to hear from you. And if this is your first time watching, please don't forget to hit the red subscribe button. And if you've watched this video up until now, it means that you were patient with me until this video. What did you like about this video? Is it the way I talked in this video? Is it the pausing? Just tell me, because I'm always wanting to hear good things about how to make great videos that you would enjoy, because I'm here because of you. And for those who have always come back to watch my videos, my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I do appreciate you. Please don't forget the videos that pop up on your screen. I do make my videos once a week on Sundays, and I post them for you guys. Please don't forget to like this video, share this video, follow me by subscribing on my channel, and ask me any questions, even if it's just to say hi. Let me know in the comment section. And until I see you in my very next video, I want to say stay safe and bye.